Out there on the edge of nowhere, a man found something he never expected. A woman half broken, whispering through blood and tears, "Easy, it hurts." And when he froze, holding her trembling hand beneath that cruel western sun, no one knew the choice he'd make would change both their lives forever. Before we ride into this story of pain, redemption, and love stronger than the desert wind, make sure you like this video and subscribe for more powerful Wild West stories. The storm had rolled over the plains like the wrath of heaven. Dust rose in great red curtains, and by the time the sky cleared, everything seemed dead. Everything, except her. Jed Lark, a rancher known to speak less than a sermon's worth in a week, was riding fence when he saw her. At first, he thought it was just another heap of tumbleweed and cloth tangled on the sand. But then it moved. He rode closer, heart pounding, and saw the shape of a woman, young, pale, bleeding from her arm. Her dress was torn, her skin blistered by the sun. She looked like she'd walked through hell barefoot. When he knelt beside her, her lips moved. "Easy, it hurts," she whispered. Jed froze. He didn't know whether to touch her or pray for her. She was shaking so bad he could feel it through the earth. "Don't talk," he murmured finally. "You're safe now. I got you." He scooped her up in his arms and carried her to his horse, wrapping her in his coat. The smell of dust and blood filled the air as he rode toward the ranch. Each hoofbeat echoed a single thought in his mind. Who could have done this? By the time he reached home, the sun was sinking. His small ranch house glowed faint orange from the window light. He laid her on his bed and fetched water. She winced with every touch, whispering, "It burns." But when she looked up, her eyes, gray, stormy, met his, and there was trust there. "Name's Jed," he said quietly.
"You're safe here, Mom."
"I'll fix what I can." Her lips trembled. "Mara," she breathed. "My name's Mara." But dawn, Mara was sitting up, weak but alive. Jed had cleaned her wounds, patched her arm, and brewed the bitter tea his mother once made for pain. She didn't speak much that first morning, but when she did, her words were like stones dropped into water. "They came at night," she said. "3 men. Took everything. Said I wasn't worth the rope it'd take to hang me." Jed felt fire rise in his chest. He'd seen his share of cruelty, but hearing it from her, broken as she was, made his fists clench until his knuckles turned white. "They won't touch you again," he said lowly. Mara watched him, really watched him, and saw something she hadn't seen in a long time, honesty without pity. Days passed. Jed tended her wounds and cooked stew neither of them could quite enjoy. But something started growing between them, a quiet kind of peace, like a campfire in the cold. One night, as rain whispered against the windows, she asked, "Why'd you stop for me?" He looked up from his chair, eyes heavy. "Because I've lost before, and I couldn't lose again." She didn't ask what he meant. But later, when she saw him place 2 small crosses by the barn, his wife and son, gone years before, she understood. It was 2 weeks before trouble found them again. Jed was out fixing the coral fence when he saw dust on the horizon, 3 riders. Mara froze in the doorway. She recognized the gait of the horses, the shadow of the man leading them. "They're back," she whispered. Jed's jaw set like iron. He handed her the shotgun. "Stay inside. If they cross the porch, fire once." The men rode up laughing, all swagger and stink.
"What'll be?"
Their leader sneered. "Didn't think anyone pick up our trash." Jed stepped down from the fence, calm as a preacher at a graveyard. "You've said your piece," he said. "Now ride." The man spat. "Or what?" Jed's silence was his answer. The wind picked up. Then, in one flash of thunder, the fight began. When it ended, 2 horses galloped away. One man didn't. Jed stood in the mud, chest heaving, the world spinning red and gray. Mara came running, tears streaking her face. "Jed!" He turned, dirt and blood on his hands, and said softly, "You're safe now, Mara. It's over." But deep down, he knew it never really would be. It was 2 weeks before trouble found them again. Jed was out fixing the coral fence when he saw dust on the horizon. 3 riders. Mara froze in the doorway. She recognized the gait of the horses, the shadow of the man leading them. "They're back," she whispered. Jed's jaw set like iron. He handed her the shotgun. Stay inside. If they cross the porch, fire once. The men rode up laughing, all swagger and stink. Well, I'll be. Their leader sneered. Didn't think anyone pick up our trash. Jed stepped down from the fence, calm as a preacher at a graveyard. You've said your piece, he said. No ride? The man spat. Or what? Jed's silence was his answer. The wind picked up. Then, in one flash of thunder, the fight began. When it ended, 2 horses galloped away. One man didn't. Jed stood in the mud, chest heaving, the world spinning red and gray. Mara came running, tears streaking her face. Jed? He turned, dirt and blood on his hands, and said softly, You're safe now, Mara. It's over. But deep down, he knew it never really would be. The sheriff came a day later. Jed told the truth, self-defense, plain and simple. The sheriff nodded left and never came back. In the quiet after, Mara tended to Jed's bruised hands. You didn't have to do it for me, she said gently. He looked at her eyes full of tired fire. No, I had to, because no one else would. That night, they sat by the hearth. The flames danced like ghosts of everything they'd lost. Mara leaned closer. You've carried pain too long. Jed, she said softly, maybe it's time you let someone carry it with you. He smiled for the first time in years, a small, cracked thing, but real. By morning, she was packing. I should go, she said. Can't keep hiding forever. A Jed stood in the doorway, hat in hand. Then I'll walk you to town. When they reached the ridge, the sun broke through the clouds. She turned to him, wind tugging at her hair. You gave me back my life, she said. How can I ever repay that? He hesitated. Just, don't forget it. She nodded and took his hand. Months later, when Jed rode to the valley to sell cattle, he stopped by a small house on the hill. The smell of stew drifted out, and laughter filled the yard. Mara was there, strong, smiling, holding a baby that wasn't yet walking. When she saw him, her eyes filled. I told you I wouldn't forget, she said. Jed tipped his hat, his throat tight. You did good, Mara. Real good. He turned to ride away, but she called out, Stay a while. Please. He stopped. The wind carried her voice through the wheat, soft as prayer. He turned back. For the first time in years, Jed Lark stepped into a home that didn't hurt to remember. And that's how one wounded man and one broken woman found a reason to keep living when the world gave them none. If you believe kindness still wins in the end, make sure you like this story and subscribe for more Wild West tales that'll grip your heart and never let go.